with the move and all that. This is gonna be, like you said, the last one in this place.
Last
Which
one in this place, yeah.
I don't think your background looks that much different here, except for they can't quite see the booze cooler over there.
It's gone. It's a bunch
That,
of bunch of stuff is gone, yeah.
so that means that
Movers.
by next week you'll be in the new place
I'll be in the new place tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
movers come in the afternoon, and then we're rolling at the new place.
Fucking hell, dude.
Yeah, that's
Looking
cool.
forward to it.
That's
Looking
exciting.
forward to a little visit down south, check out
Yeah.
the new place.
Yeah, yeah. It's very similar to this one, similar layout.
Yeah,
It's
I saw
just
the
a
pictures. Looks really
different
nice.
location, Yeah, it's good.
Did you say different or similar location?
So, no, different locations, more
Oh, okay.
downtown.
So it'd be a different MRT stop.
It's not even. I don't even think it's anywhere close to an MRT. It's kind of close to an MRT. 10-minute walk, 5-minute walk.
I'm a walker.
Yeah, it'd be all right.
Hey, I tell you what, we're on, buddy.
Are we on the internet?
We are on the internets.
I like being on all of the internets. Yep. Hey, welcome to Critters in Taiwan, a D&D podcast about Critical Role, where a bunch of dirty-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons.
I like how they're dirty this week.
I know, it came out. the dirty-ass voice actors.
They got to get some bidets.
I'm tired, man. It's been a long week of moving. I'm also Ben in Kaohsiung.
Oh, I'm Tim in Taichung. We've been very busy this week. Him with moving, me with work, bullshit, and music, which is good. So I got goods and bads.
Yeah, highs and lows.
Yeah.
Yeah, tonight we're talking about Campaign 3, episode number 54, Treacherous Toys.
Treacherous Toys.
Yeah, I like this one. I always like a good alliteration. This is like little
I think Matthew does too.
Toys. I like it.
And if I remember correctly, from Talks Machina way back in the day, Taliesin would help sometimes because he's got that wit about him, where like he could. I imagine he's the type of person that does crosswords as well, where you have to.
Yeah, he's got dad joke.
Shotgun the answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, boom! I got these 6 ideas. What about this one? That's how he strikes me.
There was a really good. You know how they put like the what do you call that thing on the YouTube when it's the placeholder? No, what do you call that thing that
the thumbnail?
Thumbnail. Thank you.
Okay.
I couldn't think of the word. The really cute thumbnail on this one, which was Christian and Sam holding hands.
Oh, that's so sweet.
There's a little bit of a nod there to Frida and FCG. I kind of dug it. I was like, oh,
yeah. It was a real sweet episode. I didn't get any romanticism from it, from the whole interaction, but it was really sweet that they both got to meet somebody of their ilk.
They're both very asexual, very in the Aormaton vibe.
Yeah, they both come up like I don't know what romance is, but maybe this is romance.
Emotions.
That's how
they seem to have a good grasp on the emotions, but not the strength of them. If that makes sense.
We may have gotten a little hint here about perhaps soul types of
what that means for a bot.
For each character, yeah. Or
for a
bots,
ribbit.
Fuck, man, my rent was late. I was too busy to think about rent. Just paid it. The landlord just said, thank you. It showed up.
It's always nice. Always nice.
6 days late. That's unexcusable.
Yeah, it happens.
She's cool.
Yeah, they are. Hey, so this one is, I got some things to say about it. Should we get into the rollies?
Yeah, I got a few things. Just letting y'all know, this might be a little bit of a shorter one. Ben is quite busy with his move at the moment. And
as you can see, you can't see, but over there, nothing is boxed up. And over there, very little is boxed up. And then behind me, nothing is boxed up. So, and the movers arrive tomorrow. So,
yeah. If you would have taken off the art off your wall, it would have made a lot more sense, what I just said.
I do that I've moved a lot. I do that the very, very, very last thing because it makes the house so fucking noisy. Like
good point. Yeah.
Everything just echoes, and it's like I took the art down in the bedroom walls 2 days ago, and I immediately regretted it.
Did you put it back up?
No, I left it. It's stupid, but
yeah, because when you take the shit off the walls, it's like it's a little bit too early of a goodbye.
Well, that too.
It's like it feels not like your home anymore, So like, yeah, keep that shit up, until the last.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all like right, packing your toothpaste or toothbrush last when you're going on a trip,
that's also last.
All right, so we're gonna blast through some rollies. I've got a bunch of tiny little things, and
I got a
we're
few.
probably gonna have it call it a little bit early today. So
Sure.
let's get right on it, bud.
Let's do it. I'm ready to go with a
Starting with a
8.
natural 4.
I got an 8. Okay. I'm going to start off with this episode had a very goofy, super positive, if a bit weird of a vibe. There was a lot of giggles, a lot of laughs, and we get the backstory and we get like them sort of figuring things out. They just defeated that ethereal celestial bull
Yeah.
beast
Did we
thing.
did we ever see that thing on a table?
Yes.
I
Yeah. Last
I
episode.
did not watch that entire episode. I
Man, it
only
was a beautiful
listened.
mini. Really cool little nebulous giant big
like thing, the
celestial
way he
bowl.
described it, I'm like, how do you make a mini for that?
Yeah, it was a
So
good
it did
one.
show up.
It did. Yeah, it did. Because they fought it very briefly, right? So we get the aftermath of that. They're all sort of the heroes and everything. So as they're sort of Chetney's not with them, and as this episode is sort of rolling through, I'm like, okay, and then they're like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And I'm waiting and I'm waiting. And I kind of look at the clock and I'm like, this episode has gone on for 40 minutes already, and there has been no mention of what the internet has very, very awesomely called AOL. That's Ashton, Oram, and Laudna. It made me giggle too.
Nice.
And there's been no absolute 40 minutes in, and there's no mention of all the missing friends or the solstice or where they're going to go.
Yeah, it's a little strange. It feels
really
very
weird.
departed from the previous before they got separated from the solstice event.
I know, and so I'm sitting there. I'm like, you're making decisions, and you're going through. Okay, we're the heroes of this place, and where Withadern is cool, and everyone's cheering us on, and what?
Yeah. I mean, there is Imogen kind of gets the idea now that trying to communicate with people, which I assume she'd be like, I need to get a hold of Laudna. How do we figure this out?
But
maybe they can get some favor with the king and queen now. Maybe someone there can help them or something. But I'm pretty sure they don't know.
But I doubt it, because they went to the whatever that temple place is, or the I almost said suppository. They went to the place with all the knowledge, and they couldn't help them out. So yeah, I don't know. That's it. That's my point. I'm like, you got 40 minutes in and you have no mention of anything. Everyone's just carrying on like it's totally normal that all this is happening.
Yeah, I guess they're getting a little swept up in it, with these new people. But
Feels
they
like
got a lot of good stories that they can't wait to tell their people, I'm assuming,
Right.
There was also that moment, without yes anding yet, where, the sending spells don't work, but then wasn't there a time where connecting with someone mentally didn't work also?
No, they were able to, because even in this episode, Imogen was able to to connect with them and talk with them. Yeah, because as Chetney's sort of meeting back up with them, Imogen spots him walking through the crowd, and then is like, okay, I'm mentally, bond with them.
So that wasn't the only instance that happened.
No, and the little cantrip, the message cantrip works also.
Oh, okay. So the sending doesn't work.
It's
but
sending that doesn't. Yeah. The long distance one for whatever reason.
Huh. All right, well, I'm gonna jump into
right off the hop. She takes where did I get it? Imogen tries to do sending again to Chetney, takes 5 points of psychic damage right off the hop. Yeah. So yeah,
I like that. I like that. Roll 100. It's like, it's not going to work, but as Matthew said, he's like, you get the sense that it's not going to work, but this is going to see how it affects you.
Yeah, how badly
he just
it's going to hurt.
Straight up told him that. Like, that's what the dice roll means.
Absolutely.
So it sounds like higher rolls is worse, I suppose.
Could be, or really low, or it could be like 20 to 80, right?
Yeah.
Anything or 10 to 90, right? It could be anything above 90, anything below 10.
Yeah. Do you think if they rolled the natural 20 of percentages like a 0-0, do you think
100?
it would work?
No.
No?
No.
I have a feeling that it's not going to happen.
No.
It's a 1% chance.
Yep.
But
no.
If it was a 0-0,
no, Matthew will
really?
No. Nope. Nope. This is I think this is a very binary thing. I think it's just it's works or it doesn't. That's it. And it currently is the switch is on off. Yeah. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong, table.
Yes, we know you're watching. I'm gonna quick yes end onto that one. Speaking of the goofiness, I believe my little theory is it's coming from Abria. When you get Abria and Travis in the same room, I feel like they're just gonna be
Yeah.
goofy to the
Yep.
walls,
Yep.
you know, and like who they meet up before they're not surprise guests
Yeah.
anymore,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so they meet up, they talk, they're having a good time, and with everybody else. So I'm sure like the
Hmm.
last time she was on Four Sided Dive, you know, she added so much character and so much and so much just joy to the whole
Yep.
situation. I
Yep.
imagine that's what it's like before the game, and then clearly during the games as
Yeah.
well.
She's probably a very good rallier,
Rallier, yeah.
cheerleader, getting everybody hyped up and ready to go.
Yeah. I think
Um,
I'm a big fan of her being at the table
mhm.
in whatever aspect, you know. Not my favorite
Totally.
DM for these kinds of games,
Yeah.
but having her at the table, I did enjoy watching what I
Yeah.
was doing,
Yeah.
you know,
No,
what was
she's
going
a.
on.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. She's a very, very good player, and she's an excellent DM. It's just maybe not the kind of DM that we enjoy.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I mean, for
nothing
Critical
wrong with
Role,
that.
you know, because
Perhaps, yeah.
we get used to Matthew, and then when
Yep.
this other thing comes in,
Hmm.
this other style of DMing comes in, it
Hmm.
throws me off a little bit, but I still thoroughly enjoy
Yeah,
her
yeah,
presence,
yeah,
you know. And
totally.
I think they all do too. And I think that was my theory of where all the giggles
Yeah,
were
the
from.
way when they got into her house, into Deanna's house, it was a lot of laughter, a lot of fun. They were all jokes and you know comedy, quite fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a great
Hmm.
episode, man. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Super
Rollies,
positive.
buddy?
Broly's.
Let's do it. Ooh.
Whoa, my 20 beats your one.
Timestamp it.
There's that one.
Timestamp
Look at
it.
that bad boy.
Oh, man.
Natural 20 beats that natural one, eh?
That's the first
Okay.
time
Well,
we've
I'm just gonna
black and
I'm
whited
gonna
it.
jump ahead to where do we got here? So they've gone through a bunch of stuff. They've done the whole fun little dream sequence with Frida and FCG, and they decide they're like, okay, now they wake up in the morning. Now where are we gonna go? They're gonna go to Old Cars. No, let's go to Jacoby's. No, let's go do this. Let's go do that. 1 hour, 20 minutes, and still no mention of the Applebee solstice or their missing friends. I'm just saying, man.
Yeah, it feels a little light on the character play.
I'm confused. I'm confused about where this is going.
You get that
And
NRE, that new relationship energy. They kind of forgot about their old squeeze, you know?
there's a lot of that going on. And I guess I'll break in my theory right now. I think this goes one more episode, and then they do a back in time to when AOL gets transported out. I think
Great. I love it.
I think that I think they're going to do a time rewind, and I think they'll do it 5 episodes. I think they're going to do 5 episodes
probably
and 5 episodes,
match.
and then I think at 10, 5 and 5, they'll come in together. That's
Yeah.
my take. So I think we got one more.
Which, that'd be kind of cool, you know? If they're doing something and then they, at the end, or maybe when they part ways, whatever, they'll be like, and in the distance, you see these three figures, you know? And be like,
Yeah.
and that's where we'll pick up next time, you know?
Yes.
You know, like,
Perhaps.
it'd be kind of cool, you know, because we'd be like, "Oh, they get back together." However, there's five episodes.
We don't
there of
actually
shit
know
that's
how.
supposed to happen.
Yeah. Maybe that sort of pigeonholes them, paints them into a corner, because now they have to make that happen at the end of those AOL episodes.
That's
So
true.
We'll see.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Anyway, that's
Yeah,
my thing.
I can't stand on to that. I
we
just
get
think
we
that'd
get
be cool.
we get to the break, and we still have no mention of
Applebee's,
nothing.
America Online.
You're
None of it.
You're an American Online.
Never used it, but you know, it kept on popping up in the damn Windows XP.
Remember?
when it showed
Did
up.
you ever have those AOL discs, the ones you got in the mail, little CDs? And
Yeah.
I don't even know how many of those things I threw in the trash.
It was like, hey, we can give you internet. Just put it in
Yep.
your CD drive, and then it started to like a
The-
Trojan horse try to
The
put shit on
very
your
first, the first spyware, the
Yeah.
first malware.
computer. Yeah, no wonder they didn't last that long. For fuck's
Nope.
sake.
Mhm.
All right. Well then, let's see. I'll keep this light before I get into anything bigger. I did mention before. I'm gonna go ahead and yes and with this one. It's very small, not even a point. Was because I mostly watch or listen in my pocket when I'm walking, and then every now and then I bring it out when I want to see what the fuck is going on. I did mention the battle cam before. I
Mm.
asked you, I was like, do you think they take shots beforehand, and stuff like that? And like, is there an active cam that's going on right now?
No, it's all post.
This
For
time, I
sure.
was in my living room, put the game on the big screen, and the theater over there, and I was marking papers, and the Whiz Kids cam was
Hmm.
live action.
Yeah. It wasn't
That
live. It was post. It was done in post over the audio.
I guess they do have time to do it, but
Yeah.
the way that the
It looked
figures
good,
were
didn't it?
on the board,
It looked good,
because
didn't
they
it?
move throughout, and like there
Hmm.
was this moment where the
I think
camera
they're
went in.
I think they've realized that what they need to do is they just need to timestamp it, go
We
back
got a
and
key
look. Oh,
grip
they're
and take it.
here, they're here, they're here. Okay, let's take a take a
Think
little
that's what's going
iPhone,
on?
just a little. Okay, now we go back in post, and we at that exact moment, at that timestamp, then we do the
And
little
in post do that.
the
Man,
drone
that's
the
some
drone
work.
flyby. That's
But I guess
that's
they got the
five
time, they got
minutes
the
of work.
money.
It's 5 minutes of work. It's not that much.
Well, I mean, yeah, because
It's
I was
it's
thinking like,
for me, it's a lot of corporate shilling. That's what it is for me. I'm like, it feels a little greasy, just a little dirty. I feel like a little bit of
I mean, it's
just a little
great for sponsorship.
buy our shit because it's awesome.
Yeah. And hey, man, if I was crazy into this game as far as a player, then or a
Yeah.
DM, like fuck, yeah,
It's
I'm sold.
expensive,
This
man.
shit's
It's
great.
so expensive. To be fair, the
To be
WizKid
fair.
minis aren't that expensive, but they're not cheap either. They're not premium. They're not like the what's the Reaper minis that I think are ridiculously expensive. But they're still not cheap. You buy whole sets. I think you can buy the entire Critical Role Vox Machina Hell Vox Machina Mighty Nine and Bell's Hells party, all three of them, and I think it's like $100. So it's not
That's not
that
bad.
expensive. No, it's not. Don't quote me on that because I don't know for sure, but I think it's around that, which isn't terribly expensive. But so that's like what? That's 20 minis. So it's not terrible, but it's not cheap.
Yeah, I mean, $5 a mini, but it also comes as a
Something
set.
like that. I don't quote me. I forget what it is. It's not super expensive.
But as a set, they probably have them sitting on a shelf.
Yeah, you're never going to play with them. You're never going to use them.
Right. Well, I mean, you can put them in as like, all right, and then this rogue shows up. Then you put that in there, and you're like, is that Vax? And be like, yeah, I fucking got this. I got
Yeah,
Vax,
sure.
but it won't be Vax in the game. But unless, well, shit, I don't know your games. All right, then let's get back into rolls,
Should I
man.
get rolls?
Ooh, ooh.
Oh, there's the crit. There's the crit.
There's my booklet. All right.
Wow, that's back-to-back 20s. All right.
Okay. I'm gonna get into some of the things in the game that I had questions basically for you on.
Okay.
Um, at one point, I believe it's FCG. Yep, it's FCG that uses a spiritual weapon, right? And I don't remember what exactly it was. A fly swatter, I
Yeah,
believe.
fly swatter for the bug.
Yeah. And
The just so we're clear, that's a Kraskalid.
the bugs?
The bugs.
Okay.
Well, the little ones were larvae. They were little fire bugs. But the big one was the Kraskalid. So it's these.
So that big ass fucking
Yeah.
thing with
The little
shit all
guys
over
were
it.
just like little fire larva things, and the big giant spider beast crab pincher thing, whatever the fuck that was, called a Kraskalid, which is a made up thing. That's not a real monster. Kraskalid. Krask.
How do you find that out?
I looked it up. There's no such thing.
No.
I was like,
No.
I don't know what that is. What is it? And I'm like, oh, that's why I don't know what it is, because it doesn't exist.
Not an
It's
insect.
it's like a homebrew monster from Critical Role. Matt
I just know that from the number of legs it had,
well,
because it had 4 back here on each side, and then, the stabbers in the front, or
We, the,
pinchers.
Those the pseudo scorpions, the whip spiders, whatever, they've got a bunch of weird nonsensical legs as well, appendages and pedipalps and things that are going on all over the place too. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're also weird, but yeah, made up monster. And then sorry, if I may, the mini that he used when the fly swatter was smashing it, and then they open up the bedroom and they see that mini is a Pathfinder mini. Chat nailed this one. The mini is a brain collector from Pathfinder. And I was like, what? So I looked that up. I'm like, oh yeah, it is. Cool. That's all. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump on you there, but
No, hey.
that's it.
Interject
Just
all you want, man.
Just some factual information about these things.
That's good to know. I mean, I like to know that shit too, in case it comes up. Fuck the viewers, fuck the listeners. This is about,
It made me go back to, I wonder if Matt's had that brain cold, because they originally, Vox Machina started out as, well, when they were the shits. It was Pathfinder they played, right? So you wonder if Matt has a bunch of Pathfinder minis
I'm
that
sure,
are
of course.
collecting dust, and he's like, well, I'm going to bring these in when I can. So why the hell not?
Yeah, I mean, he even said with the swarms, he was like, I didn't have any swarm minis,
Yeah.
which is,
So
how do you have a swarm mini?
I've got a couple. Well, no, I don't. My DM, who actually is, because I'm moving, he took them all away, but he has a couple of swarm minis.
I mean, like, how do you make it work in the 3 dimensions? Like,
Does
it look like a tree? Is it
There's a
fiber
really
optic
fun
cables?
way. You take, I saw this online and I've yet to use it because I keep forgetting about it. But eventually, when my party in Curse of Strahd, when they start fighting them, you take a spray paint can lid. You know how some spray paint can lids are clear?
Yeah.
You take a clear one and you glue tiny little bugs all over it. And then you put the mini there and you go bloop, you drop the paint can lid over top of it. And
you can encase them in there.
You're encased in a bug swarm or a bat
That's
swarm.
Good size too. Yeah. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Not my idea. That's off Reddit.
Yeah, because even Matthew these days, he's talking about the swarms. He was like, yeah, well, I forgot what he called them, but he had those discs with like fucking larvae in them. But they weren't larvae; they were
rats
flying around. You know.
Yeah. Well, some of the little swarm minis he had were rat swarms, which they obviously weren't rats, but he was using the rat swarms as the tokens.
Yeah. So even he doesn't have all the things at his disposal. Yeah. So the stickler in me is going with this one. At some point, I don't have a timestamp, and I apologize for that. I do have one for another point, though, later. Okay. He uses a spiritual weapon, and he got advantage because somebody rolled a 20 or something.
Yes.
And then he was like, oh, wait, wouldn't I get advantage on that because of this?
Because
and I was thinking, like, wait, your spiritual weapon also gets advantage when you get advantage?
He gets advantage on all weapon attacks. And they
did talk about that. Maybe I kind of missed that.
They did. He's like a spiritual weapon. It's in the name. It says weapon. And I mean, this is again. There was a lot of rule of cool stuff happening in this episode, and there's no problem with that. I got no problem with rule of cool stuff.
Thanks, Abria.
It's very cool. Now, can I end on this one?
Yeah.
This goes back to my first 2 points, which are there has been no mention of the party, the splitting the party,
other shit going
all
on.
the other stuff going on. No mention of it whatsoever. This is a distraction from all of that stuff, so that they can have some fun and have some goofiness, and that's why the rule of cool stuff always works, and it's working in this case. He's like, sure, Sam, you can absolutely have advantage because it says weapon. That might come back to bite him in the ass, but maybe not. Who knows? And it's honestly, with spiritual weapon, it's not that big of a deal.
And because maybe all this shit's gonna be over anyway.
Exactly.
And then after they catch up with the 5, and then 3 episodes after that, everything's fucked anyway. So let's go.
You never know. So there was a if I can, there's a bunch of other rule of cool stuff. I got a timestamp on this one at 2 hours 41 minutes 14 seconds on the Twitch stream.
After mine. All right.
The Fern asks if she can use snare. Right? So she's like, "Hey, I want to use snare." And instantly I'm like, "Snare? Interesting. Like to look that up." So I quickly do a quick little Google on it. I'm like, "Snare. Okay." Bing, 1 minute casting time.
Oh boy. Yeah. she cast it immediately?
And immediately. And then she
boy.
shaped it, and she shaped it like a butterfly net that swooped through. No, it's not supposed to. You're supposed to use a little piece of rope. No, I think it's like 30 feet of rope or maybe 3 feet of rope. I forget. You have to use a little rope, and it's consumed in the spell, and then it turns into a snare, a magical snare, which then grabs
It takes you a minute to write in the air.
It takes you a minute to do it.
To 3D print.
Somebody walks over it, it grabs them and flips them upside down and dangles them from a magical little rope thing. So again, and I got no problem with this. I'm not complaining because it's cool. Let the druid do the druid thing. It's all good. Like she wants to do this make a snare like a butterfly net to catch these bugs. It's all good. It's all inconsequential, so it doesn't really matter. It's just a distraction. So all good. Yeah. But I hope going forward, they will actually pay a little bit more attention to what the spells are and how they work, because this spell is supposed to take a minute because it does have a serious effect. And she cast like 3 or 4 of them during this battle. So little bit out of bounds in my eyes, little bit, but rule of cool trumps that stuff. So that's me.
But really what this podcast is for me is hearing about these kinds of things, because that's something that I would completely miss because I don't look up the spells. If I know the spell, like I said before, I have another point about another spell later, you probably do too, if I know about it, I want to know your opinion about it. So if you're bringing something up, I'm getting it unprompted. So that feels pretty good.
Cool.
And if there are any other listeners that love the show but don't understand D&D, that's where you're shining, Ben.
You want to give me your timestamp spell, because I bet you I've got it written down right here.
I've got a timestamp check, not a timestamp spell.
Oh, okay.
Am I yes anding right now?
No, we're rolling again because you won that one.
Oh, okay, that's right. I had the net one.
Yep.
All right, let's roll again. You kidding me?
No lie. No lie.
Kidding me? Oh
no
man,
lie.
look at this guy. That got me a
no
12.
lie. Back to back 20s, dude.
Oh, that's 3 for 3. Hey,
3, yeah. I got one.
I got one. That's 4 crits and 3 rolls.
There you go. Okay, so I'm going to go to my timestamp spell, which is just before Fern does the snare one at 2 hours 26 minutes and 56 seconds.
Just after mine. Okay.
She's like, I want to try to encase them in a little bubble. I'm going to cast air bubble, and I immediately like, what? Again, what is that spell? So I went and looked it up, and I'm like, holy fuck! So this is, I'm going to believe this is I'm not sure about this. Fact check me on this. Is that this is the very first Spelljammer spell we've seen. This comes from the Spelljammer book, and I don't think we've seen anything from Spelljammer yet. This may be the first one. I think it's hilarious that a circle of wildfire druid is using Spelljammer spells. But hey, man, Ashley's having some fun with Fern, so have at it. But air bubble is literally an astronaut helmet. That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like you encase your head in an air bubble that lasts 8 hours, I think, or something like that.
Where you can breathe comfortably.
You just breathe. Yeah, you just breathe in the celestial, in anywhere, in any hostile astral sea environment that doesn't have air, or any environment that doesn't have air. It just gives you a little astronaut space helmet bubble thing. You're like magical, just walking around in poison gas and
fish bowl on your head.
Little fish bowl on your head, which kind of made me think. I'm like, wait, why did somebody wait until Spelljammer to use this spell? Like this, you're going into a volcano with like toxic fumes or something, or you want to deal with like stink cloud or some poison gas spell, something like that. Like just you're fighting a green dragon, give everyone space bubbles or air bubbles, and then they don't have to worry about poison gas. Like, I was thinking, there's a bunch. Why didn't this come up sooner? But cool.
They had in campaign 1 they had Grog's jar, right?
Oh yeah, the endless jar, the never ending. What is it called? The alchemy jar. The alchemy jar. Yeah, the alchemy
fill it
jug.
Up with whatever,
You want oil, you want water, you want mayonnaise.
Yeah.
It was all. Yeah.
People started sending them mayonnaise.
Oh, didn't they? Yeah, didn't Grog use that as a diving bell? He turned it upside down and put it on his head. That's right. Yeah, right.
But it doesn't. I don't know if they addressed, or I don't know if it matters that it's not constant. You can't just use it for 8 hours. It was just like, all right, it's full of air.
Yeah.
Because I think he was like air, and then put it on his head, and that shit's
Okay.
gonna be gone pretty quick.
Yeah.
But,
Well, but then
who knows?
remember in D&D, so that what gives him an extra minute maybe of air,
Yeah.
maybe. But you got to remember in D&D, 5th edition anyway, the rules of holding your breath is 1 minute plus Constitution modifier.
Right.
So he's got a Constitution modifier of what, like +4,
Yeah.
probably +5, maybe, who knows? So that's like he's got probably what, like 7-8 minutes underwater at that point. Come on, it's ridiculous.
With an extra 2 or 3 from the air jug,
Who knows,
and apparently
right?
it's supposed
Who
to be
knows?
pretty big.
It's a big jug.
Like
yeah.
he could, yeah. Like an ogre was sipping at it, like it was a tiny little cup for the ogre, but it was big and like really big, like good size for grog.
Listen, if
Very
a
small
half
thing, but-
giant can fit their head in it, it's a big jug.
Yeah, yeah. And what is he, like 9-10 feet tall? I don't remember. 8,
Grog?
9.
No, he's like
Yeah.
7.
Huh?
7 feet, I think.
7 feet? Oh,
He's not. Yeah, he's not huge.
I knew a 7-foot guy. Well, can I jump into my timestamp then?
Do it.
All right, I got 2 for 1. Timestamp graphic. At 2:21:43. Since we're getting a little nitpicky with a few things here, because I've got another nitpicky thing too. Deanna tries to communicate with the firebugs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because she had a spell or something like that, like talk to beasts or something, right?
Yep,
And I
something like that,
believe Chetney also had something, either an innate ability or he cast something too, because he was like, "Oh, I can talk to them too." So like, he trying to help her, trying to assist her with, to give her.
Yeah,
advantage.
I think that was like a little bit of a misreading what werewolves or lycanthropes can do, but that's fine.
Yeah, that struck me a little bit strange. So maybe there's another little nugget there. But that's not the thing that I had the issue with. Matthew says, "Okay, roll a persuasion check," and then like there's a couple other things here. There's another thing here. There's another thing here. And then Abria comes back. She's like, "What is this? Animal handling?" And Matt goes like, "Yeah," and continues talking to someone else. And then she rolled, and I believe she had advantage because Matthew allowed him to help her.
Yeah.
And she had advantage, and she used assuming she used animal handling instead of persuasion.
Right.
And she rolled quite well.
Yes.
And she communicated with them, and she got them. I think that was to get them to come to her. I don't remember exactly what happened.
The come on to like to a swarm, basically, like a
Swarm,
bee.
like she was like,
she wanted to do like
pancake
a
on here.
honeybee. Yeah, like a honeybee swarm sort of a
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
And so like Matt said persuasion, she said animal handling, and then he said yes. So
Sure.
at that moment I was like, okay, well maybe Matthew's like persuasion or animal handling. I guess they both make sense.
In that situation, they totally would both make sense.
Absolutely.
So that's that for me. That's I didn't actually catch that, so I don't really remember. But for me, right off the hop, that's some of that DM to DM nonsense that they keep talking about, which is just fun.
Yeah. And
It's
again,
just a fun thing.
There's a lot of trust at the table. It's like if I was there and like animal handling, and he's just like, yeah, whatever, But maybe her animal handling is like +7, and maybe her persuasion is +2. I don't know. I don't know her character. But then again, at 2 hours 24 minutes 44 seconds,
Okay.
she attempts to do something similar. I don't have that written down here. And then Matt says another persuasion check. At
Right.
which point she definitely hears him that time. And I looked at her face, and she didn't seem to be like, "Oh shit, should I have done persuade?" There wasn't like
Sure.
"Oh, did I fuck up last time?" And she just did another roll, and then she just had another. I think it succeeded again. I'm pretty sure. But I'm sitting there just being like, "That's communication there, man. Was it animal handling or was it this?" Like, and the second time, did she use animal handling or did
persuasion?
she use persuasion the first time also? And the second,
Possibly.
I don't know. But you didn't catch that?
Nope. I remember her making those rolls, but I missed the miscommunication. If he said persuasion or animal handling, or she said animal handling, I missed that.
Yeah, I'm curious if that would come up, in a future.
There was
dive.
It's one of my points, but I'll just say it now anyway because it fits. There was a lot of real cool stuff. So again, I've got written down here. There's Dawn. The way that Abria used Dawn was not the right way. Snare. Ashley using snare was not right. Disarming shot that Frida used to knock out the rule of cool. raw, you should not be able to disarm an opponent because they've got somebody grappled. Like that's what he used it for. He's like, can I use disarming shot to disarm them because the monster is holding. I'm like, it's really cool stuff. It's totally cool, but I don't see a strict raw DM ever allowing that. The other big one was, how did they win this fight? Well, Fern polymorphed this Kraskalid into a little larva, right?
Yeah.
It should have instantly dropped into Deanna's Dawn spell, taken damage from Dawn, and then they would have been like,
"Ooh, good catch!"
and pop back
right back.
Not my catch. That was on the Reddits. So again, I got no problem with it. I got no problem with it because again, this is all rule of cool stuff. So it all works, and it made for a really fun, distracting episode.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Huh. What was I going to say? How did Deanna misuse the Dawn spell?
The moving, the way that she was moving it around.
She moved it through
a wall? Through not. It's a stickler. This is a little bit of a stickler thing where.
Matt says it. He says like it's a column, so I guess it's coming from here.
Yeah, and he was trying to square that circle into his head, and he just finally he's like, that's all good. It doesn't matter. And I could see him doing a quick little bit of mental gymnastics. Is this worth it? No. Okay, we just make it happen. So it again, a raw DM would have been like, it has to be like this, and it's going to do this, and then it's going to hurt everybody, not just the. Yeah.
And with the column, I mean, it makes sense because they're in a house, and if it's going, it has to get through the roof of the house to start getting down through, or no, it's just a column.
It's just a big column that pops up
that it could move. You know.
Yeah.
And they joked about like outside, these people are just
right.
You know.
So it's sort of one of those. It's like, well, what, where, it's
like we'll get to that later, but right now that's where it is.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like rule of cool versus, I mean, the way Matthew said it made sense to me, instead of like it's not coming from here. It's he didn't actually even say that. I just pictured it. Since it's a column, it's coming from here. There is a roof here, but it's also still here. I don't know. It made sense, but yeah, there was plenty of that going on this episode. I have one more spell, but I think we're back to rollies, bud.
Let's do rollies.
All right.
We got a bunch of them tonight.
Ooh, so close to a 20. 19, buddy.
Yeah, 12.
All right. So this one, Imogen's lightning spell. I feel like I just don't know enough. Because as far as I understand, there are lightning spells that go from up, and there are lightning spells that go forward, right? From the caster, right?
Yeah, well, Call lightning is the druid one that you create a huge big cloud, and then you can call lightning from anywhere you want in that radius.
And it comes from above you.
It comes from above.
Right.
And then and you take I don't know if they do it with regular lightning bolt, but regular lightning bolt is horizontal. Call lightning is vertical.
Okay,
and if you are in water with call lightning, it's like double damage.
Right.
I don't think if you're in water with regular lightning bolt, it's double, but it might be. I'm not sure about that.
Could be. Yeah, I remember. I just remember back when.
I think if you're wearing metal armor, it's double damage.
It should be. I mean, depending on the metal.
That might be an old rule. I could look it up. Anyway, what's your question?
That was most of it, but then also remember that Ira, the Nightmare King, like they were lined up at one point, and he was like, "I'm gonna cast." I don't remember what the spell was called, but he fucked up like 5 of the characters, 5 of the players. They're like, "God damn it, let's not stay in a line, people." I don't know if that was, I don't know what the spell was called. It was clearly wasn't called lightning.
Yeah, it was lightning bolt. So lightning bolt is like a
lightning bolt sounds like one target. Just
no, lightning bolt specifically. It's supposed to be comparable to fireball, because fireball is an AOE, right? An area of effect spell. So it does like everybody in that area. Lightning bolt is supposed to be equally powerful, but you have to line them up.
Right.
So you could get, if you have
situationally awesome at times.
So I think just 1 second. Let me just do a quick little peek here. It is 100 feet. So you could get 20 people in a row by raw. You could get 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 20. And it's like 8d6 or something like that. It's comparable to Fireball for Fireball.
Yeah. I mean, Fireball adds up,
8d6, and then it's one board d6 for every spell slot above third. So it could be, if you did it at 9th level, you would be 8 plus 6.
8d6.
Let's say 14d6.
9.
14d6.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14d6.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You do 14d6 damage to 20 individuals if you line
to
them
each thing that was in that area. Yeah.
Yep.
That's either 14 or 16 times 6 times 14.
So like
I'm not doing that much.
Fireball is like the big, I think it's a 30-foot radius. So you could get however many people you could fit inside a Fireball in
radius?
That circle. 30-foot diameter.
I was gonna say, yeah.
It might be 30-foot radius. God damn it. You're making me
Fireball's a fucking spell.
Yeah. Fireball is the bomb.
Quite literally.
Blossoms. God damn it. 150 feet, and it is a 20-foot radius.
20-foot radius. That's huge, man.
That's a lot of creatures inside of an area.
And that's spherical radius.
Yeah, spherical. Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, so flying creatures, it's even more devastating. So if you have a whole pack of flying creatures that are all swarming through, you get everything in a 360 sphere.
I wonder if that's why he who must not be named wanted to use Fireball so much, just because it was so cool to use it situationally. And he'd be like, Fireball.
Look at Caleb, man. Like Caleb is a firebug as well, right?
But he used it intelligently, as a player and as a character.
Yeah.
Especially when he got mind controlled, he's like, what would you do? I would fuck him up,
I would probably do this one, Matthew. I think that's the one you're looking at.
And Matthew's like, go for it.
Yeah. Yep.
That was savage. That move right there. That was mine. You got a follow up there?
I got a funny one. I got
two little ones after this.
I just want to throw out that I loved Sam's iPhone joke at the end of the episode. When I'm not trying to be like, this joke was awesome, but fucking savage deep cut there when they're all getting broken up about, oh my god, child slavery, their kids are making the toys up in Shady Creek Run, how dare they. Yeah, he says with outrage as he texts into his iPhone. I was just like, that's the fucking best out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just it's one of those savage deep cuts that I had to bring up because it's so good.
It kind of slayed the table too, because how many else of them have an iPhone too, and
they're all using iPads. Every single one of them is using an iPad Mini, right? That's why they have the black tape square on the back of it. They're all iPad Minis, so it's very, very, very deep cut.
It's like, we'll overlook it because this is useful for us right now, but we'll talk about the child stuff later.
I don't have an iPhone, but my Samsung phone is made by child labor as well, right? The Cobalt, that whole Cobalt thing.
I think that's how they get these things out for the price that we can get them. Makes sense.
It's not so much like the new thing is not the actual chips, right? It's the way that they're made in whatever, but kids aren't making the iPhones. Kids are making the kids are mining the components, the rare earth metals, cobalt in particular, apparently.
It's going that way?
Yeah, man. For batteries. Batteries is the big one apparently, but it's more important for electric vehicles than it is for phones. But yeah, still. Child labor for mining the rare earth metals in Africa and other places where there are no regulations. It's bad news. Anyway, that's it. That's mine.
Let's blast past that. I've got two little smallies.
All right.
Let's roll into it.
Natural 7.
Natural 19 again.
Whoa, this back-to-back 19.
Which one? Was this the first time that Matthew used a little riser for the second floor in this place? Because he was like, oh, and there's stairs there, and there's a second floor. He came back with a little
riser,
shelf.
Yeah, a little
and then
booster
put the thing
seat
on top of it, and I was like, I'd never seen that before.
Neat little touch. I don't think you'd seen that before either. It was a cool touch. Usually he just does the second floor off to the side, but this, you're right, this was actually stepped up. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Added a neat little touch to it. I liked it.
Yeah, it was nice, and I think Laura responded to it. I think she was looking at the art on the top of it before he covered it with the second floor.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay, cool. I got my little one is when Frida and FCG they go into Frida's bedroom just before they dream together, and made me laugh. A lot of electric sheep jokes. But the instantly, as soon as he starts showing the charcoal sketches, all I could think about was that scene from I, Robot, the Will Smith movie. Did you ever watch that one?
I didn't.
So good, man. It's actually a really good, fun movie to watch. Like it doesn't really have much to do with Isaac Asimov's novel, I, Robot, but except for the three laws and some of the stuff that happens. But the Hollywoodizing of the theme was, but there's a scene in it where the intelligent robot, the robot that actually has true AI, has consciousness, is sketching his dreams. And he's in that movie, he starts sketching, and it's like this, it's really cool. Like he does this sort of like laser printer vibe. He's holding the piece of paper and he's like zzz, 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 and that's what I was thinking about when Frida was showing the dreams. He's like, I'm sketching the globe, I'm sketching Exandria, I'm sketching the things, and what I see in my dreams. I was just like, that's a really cool, fun little vibe. I mean, all in all, Christian was killing it, crushing it with his RP with Frida. Like, this is a really well thought out, in-depth character profile of an Aormaton that he's playing. Real serious chops, RP chops for this role. I'm really enjoying his soft little dulcet tones and sort of the confusion and the wonder and the joy that he's presenting, and it's just really, really well done. Really well done.
Playing into the low stat that he has. What is it? Charisma? What's his low stat?
Could be. I'm not sure.
I don't remember which one it is.
Might be intelligence.
I'm leaning towards intelligence or charisma.
He's a fighter.
His charisma seems to be great. I'm just as his character, but I don't think he's doing any persuasion.
Fighter, gunslinger, cleric. Not sure what archetype. If he has any archetype, it might just be like we might have taken one level in cleric, and ranger, rogue.
He had three when I saw this.
Three classes. I wrote it down somewhere. I forget where.
He was a cleric, fighter,
cleric, fighter,
and
rogue. I think
one more.
I think rogue.
Could have been rogue.
Or
yeah,
ranger.
That makes sense because he did the sleight of hand. Took those keys.
Yeah. I think he wanted sneak attack, right? Or maybe not. Might have been ranger.
With
anyway,
fighter and rogue, it makes some sense where they might coincide. You were saying last time, level 3.
Fighter, gunslinger, rogue makes sense because you get the shots, you get all the feet, you get that feat chain, and you get sneak attack with it as well. So
and he had sharpshooter.
He had everything. Massive fight. Well, that's what fighters get, right? They just get all these feats. So yeah, it's cool. Percy had them too, all the feats.
All right, dude, I got one left. What are you doing?
I got nothing.
All right, well, I'm going to roll for one more.
Okay, I got you. I'm right there with you.
I rolled a 3.
I rolled a 15.
You're on the spot.
I rolled a 15.
You're on the spot with no notes.
God damn it. Wait for it.
Mine's such a small note. Such a small note.
Fuck, I got nothing. I haven't done anything here.
You know what we said, like, in our first episode, like...
I just think it was okay. I'll go down to the very back. It. How fucked up was it when Fern is like, I'm going to take the baby larva thing outside and let it free, and then as soon as it polymorphs back into the monster, she runs back in, and then the grass blades kill it, and she's like, oh, and it just shrugs. Oh well, and then and she walks. I'm like, wasn't the whole reason for you bringing it out to the forest is to free it, and now you're just totally fine with it being murdered? Very weird.
Well, that's her fey nature, I suppose.
Yeah, still very weird. I found it slightly odd.
Did you catch Matthew's mother, like, mommy, why are
All
you
of
running
the
away?
the platoon
Yeah.
sort of the references.
Flight
I
of
was
the
thinking,
Valkyries or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, I was thinking Boondock Saints. There was a
Yeah.
firefight. Yeah.
'Cause I don't know how much canon there is with mother, because like she brought her out and she was like,
Yeah.
you know,
Hmm.
I think mostly just joke, but yeah, it's pretty fucked up. But
Yep.
who else better to do it than Fern?
100%.
She's a fey creature. Yeah,
That's
it makes some
that's the
sense.
fey nature. I was sort of like, yep, that this all tracks, but it's still fucked up.
Yeah, and then she
I
comes
still
back. She's
don't
like,
get it.
the baby's dead.
Yeah.
At which point, one of the
Uh,
NPCs, one of Matt's characters, was like, "What? There's a dead baby that you guys killed or whatever."
uh-huh.
It was fine. Well, I'm gonna get in again with a little bit of Fern. When I was listening through the first time, they were talking about sleeping arrangements in this place, right?
Uh-huh.
And Imogen was asking like, okay, so you have a bed, but you're not going to be using it. And he's like, yeah, I never use it. I just power down and whatever.
Right.
And then I heard what I thought was Imogen saying, I'll take that.
Yeah.
And then I heard laughter around the table, and I was like, "What's so funny about that?" She just took the bed she asked for.
Yeah.
And then the second time through, I was actually watching, and then immediately it was Ashley Fern being like, "I'll take that," before Imogen could say anything.
Uh-huh.
But their voices are so similar.
At
a lot
that,
of times,
at that tone, yeah, they
I didn't
are.
pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even pick up the difference of accent. I didn't pick up the difference of character. So the first time through, I was like, "Why is that so funny?" Second time through, I'm like, "Fucking Ashley, well done, you cunt."
Yep. Yep.
It was nice.
It was good. It was a fun episode. Like I said, man, a very fun episode.
Absolutely. Hey, man, is that about it for us?
I'm good to go. I gotta get packing here. I'm starting to feel it.
Yeah, especially when you sit still for a minute. It
Uh-huh.
you either get restless or you get.
I'm looking
lazy.
around. I'm like, oh fuck, I got a lot to put away still.
All right. Well, then let's call it, man. Okay, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment if we're talking bullshit, or if you have the answers to some questions that we don't have. Subscribe if you would. You can check me out for album updates at drummatucka on Instagram. And yeah, for shows coming up too, we're hoping to do a little, nationwide tour. So
I'll be there.
get in touch there.
Are you guys doing May Jam?
No,
Okay.
there's a bit of a story there.
I'm sure there is.
Not terribly negative, but just a bit of a
There always is.
yeah. There's a story. But yeah, after you like, comment, and subscribe, if there's nothing else, Ben. Hey, do we have a four-sided die coming up? We know they're
No.
all fucked up with their schedule.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything yet, so who knows?
And this is our first time after 2 weeks, right?
No, we were on last week.
We were on last week. Okay, sorry. So we got like one more and then a break.
2 more. This was we just had a break, so we've got we got the 13th and the 20th. So there's 2 more to go, and then the 27th will be their break.
Oh, okay.
So we've only had 2, right? We had the first one, and then we had this one. Now we've got today's the 11th, right? So this is we got 4 this month. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, cool. Well then, hey, dude, if nothing else,
Good.
all right. Don't forget to love y'all chuthers. I hate it every time I say that.
You say it, man.
Don't forget to love each other. And is it finally Friday?
Hey.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Take care of yourselves.